Like I told you before, I don't think some of these are obviously internal issues and the external issues that have happened in the past. I don't think our guys let it affect them. I talked to the defensive guys last week. They're fired up to play this game. They're getting ready to go. We got some different guys probably seeing some action this week, so those guys are excited to play, and the other guys are excited for them. But these guys are ready to play a football game, and they're excited for this one.
A lot of people wondering what you do with that JoJo position. How will that look compared to how it has worked?
Yeah, I think I told you guys before. Those guys, that position's been meeting with me this year. I thought Isaac has done a really nice job all year. He hasn't just got a lot of chances because JoJo's playing some really good football, but Isaac's ready to play. And some of the packages will be a little bit different as we roll out into the week, just versus different personnel groupings. But I don't think you'll see a vast departure from what we have been doing. Obviously, JoJo, you can do a lot of different things with him, a lot of different calls. Some of those calls will be, tapered down a little bit, but it won't be a far departure from what we have going. And I think Isaac's going to do a really good job.
JoJo's skill set, and obviously he's a unique athlete, but his leadership, how difficult is that going to be to replace over these next couple weeks?
Yeah, it'll be difficult. And he'll be along with us hopefully on the trip and all those types of things. Whether I'm hoping that is the case. I don't know exactly the ruling and all those kind of things, but hopefully he gets to go along. And like we've said all along, the leadership in that room I think is really good. From the quote unquote captains and the leaders to trickle down effect onto some of the other guys that are able to step up and voice their opinions and be a good leader and a good teammate on that side of the football. So I think his leadership and all those types of things will be missed, but I think other guys are ready to step up and take his place.
Other than Isaac, is there anybody else that would see maybe more playing time because of JoJo's departure? Anybody besides Isaac?
We've been training guys, the whole time. Phelan's taking some reps there. John Bullock's taking some reps. Simon Odie's taking some reps. And, we got really smart guys in the back end, so we can move those pieces around, depending on how much Deontay's ready for. You might see three safeties on the field and those types of things, but I think you can move those pieces around a little bit and have a nice plan for Wisconsin.
What makes Wisconsin's run game tough to stop?
Well, I think that, as long as I can remember, they've been really good at running the football. They have an identity, and they know what they're going to do. They have some really interesting gap schemes. They're really good at blocking those. And the other thing is I think their running backs and this young guy, Braylon Allen, he's coming into his own a little bit, and he's done a really nice job as the year progresses of being able to read what they want him to read, put his foot in the ground and go get what he can, and then, it's just body blow, and then they throw a knockout punch and break a big one on you. So I think that they're patient in the run game. They know that, they're fired up to get a 4-yard gain, and pretty soon those 4-yard gains after enough body blows turn into 8-yard gains. So I think they're patient with the run game. Their offensive line's physical, their running back's physical, and they do a good job with different looks.
We talked to Luke Reimer, I think, on Monday about why the run defense has gotten better. And of course, he said you guys know this; they know the system better than they did. But he also used the word violence. What does that mean to you when a player says that? And also, what does that mean within the context of your program when you guys talk about being violent?
Yeah, I think, anytime you're good on defense, and I think it's probably not just our program, it's a lot of programs, but what you want to do on defense is you want to play fast, you want to play physical, and you want to play violent. And then the violence, the physicalness is willing to put your face on somebody, use your hands, be physical at the line of scrimmage, be physical on the perimeter, and then the violence part is when you get a chance to be sudden, whether you're blitzing, whether you're moving in your gap, whether you're going to make a tackle. Let's get violent, let's explode, let's be sudden about things.
It kind of seemed like Wisconsin maybe was trying to, find itself a little bit at the start of the season. What have they kind of done over these last 6 games, I guess, that you've noticed that you've kind of been studying film on?
Yeah, I think, the quarterback's settled down. He had a few games where maybe he wasn't at his best at the beginning of the season, but he's done a nice job of progressing, doing what they want him to do with the football. They're able to complement their run game with their pass game a little bit and probably get people loosened up, if you will, in the box. But I think their offense is just clicking now, and they're kind of, like I said, from week 1 to week whatever we're in now, that thing just seems like it's becoming a well-oiled machine.
Deontay was progressing pretty well, come off that injury. Is he still on the right track, and what does his return potentially mean for you guys' defense?
Yeah, so he's he's practicing right now. Hopefully he's ready to go. We'll see. I mean, he's got a lot to do with that. How does he feel? I think he can be cleared as long as he feels good. So I'm looking forward to him playing in the football game, whether it's a limited amount of snaps or the whole game. But we'll kind of see as the week goes on with him.
How big is that for you?
Oh, I think it's huge. I think the guys want him to play in the football game. I think that allows us to rotate some more guys through, which at this time of the season becomes a big-time asset when you can roll some guys through, and especially when you're playing in a physical football game like this. So I think it's a good morale boost to the defense, and it's also just a physical attribute to the defense as well.
Get back to Isaac for a second. How similar are the traits that he has to his brother? I mean, obviously you coach them both, so.
Yeah, they're they have similar traits in the fact that they're both really football smart. They have a high football IQ. They're both physical football players. They're both smart football players. They just kind of have a knack for being where they're supposed to be at the right time. Luke was a little bit more, happy-go-lucky. Isaac's pretty stubborn in a good way, and so I think they have a different personality a little bit. But as far on the football field, they're the same guy, different position, obviously different physical attributes, but just being a football player, they have a lot of the same qualities.
What's your recruiting plan? When you think, you probably have to have one eye on the games and obviously one eye on trying to figure things out. Do you have any more players that you want to try to get out of the high school ranks, or do you just want to kind of look more at the portal or JUCO?
Yeah, and that question is the $1 million question, obviously, with this COVID year and who wants to come back and all those types of things. The numbers game is going to be pretty interesting as we move forward, not just for us but for everybody in the country. There's definitely a few high school guys that I want to take a look at. I want to get in here and take a hard look at. And there's also, some positions in need, whether it be junior college and or transfer portal type things like that. So I think, as this season kind of comes to a close, that's one thing our staff's going to sit down and really hone in on exactly where do we want at what position and how many can we take.
You hit about 90% re-recruitment last year on the 6-year guys, JoJo and Deontay and Martell. Is that job one, re-recruiting players that you want to have come back and also are thinking about them?
Yeah, and I think that's job one, at least finding out what these guys are thinking. That was job one last year, first finding out what they're thinking. How can I help them make the best decision? And to me, do I want all the good players back? Absolutely. But we got to make the best decision for them and their family also. So if somebody has an opportunity to, get drafted high, then they should probably do that. If they don't and they want to come back, then we need to talk about those types of things. But helping a young guy make the best decision for him is probably priority number one.
Did you guys have any of those types of conversations during the second bye week? I know some offensive guys had mentioned that they were at least kind of thinking about it a little bit, but.
Yeah, I don't personally, I don't like to have those conversations during the season because I think that just becomes a distraction. It's kind of like when, whatever head coaches are quote unquote getting, pursued by other schools. It just becomes a distraction. So I'd rather wait till the season's done, get all the information from the NFL and all the film, and then let's have that discussion with them and possibly their family if that's what they want to do.
How do you feel like Frost has handled the last couple of weeks, and obviously hard for him?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job, keeping the team in good spirits, getting these guys ready to play a football game, and then obviously he's got a big role on the offensive side of the ball right now, with the limited staff. So he's been very busy and he's been kind of frantic getting all his jobs done, but he's done a great job of managing that situation.
Don't do it for words, but you're up for one. I was wondering if you knew that and what your thoughts were on it.
Yeah, I actually I received some texts last night as we were watching film and all those kind of things. Obviously, feel very honored to be mentioned with the other group of coaches, and to be considered by the Burroughs Foundation and the Burroughs family. But with that being said, usually when things happen in a bad way on defense, that falls directly on me. These types of good things that happen on defense or awards or those types of things, that's a direct reflection of the assistant coaches and the players that we have. And I know that, and I know that I wouldn't be under consideration for any types of things if we didn't have the kind of kids we have and the men we have coaching those positions. So I'm thankful for them as well.